Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. Oh, we have a question today. It came in from Jeff. And Jeff says, I am a natural southpaw. I do everything left-handed except swing a golf club. Please help with an over-the-top swing. Jeff. Okay, Jeff. Let's first off to start by defining what an over-the-top swing is. Let me get a couple arrows here in the ground so we can have an idea of what's going on. We're going to call this the aiming line. I'm going to try to aim it at the camera. Just a tweak left. Alright, that's pretty much spot on right there. Now, these are pretty parallel. Sometimes they don't look parallel in the camera. So, but they are here. Alright, over the top means that when we make our backswing, the club is coming from somewhere up in here and it's going out this way, which means at some point it's coming over outside in. The club gets outside that aiming line rather than approaching slightly in the line and getting to where we hit a ball straight. It has to approach on the aiming line, strike the ball while it's on the aiming line and square to it, leave on the line accelerated, and hit it solid in a sweet spot while doing the first three. So that's what we call on and on. Over the top is coming across it. And so in many cases, even if you happen to be dead square at impact and you were coming across it, you're still coming across it, so the ball would be sliding across the face, and the ball might start straight or a little left of it, but it's very likely, because it's sliding across the face, it'll get left to right spin, and somehow it could start at the flag or a little left of the flag, and then from there, wherever it started, it would start moving a little to the right, very likely. And you get a whole bunch of other things that could happen, where you could hit thin and pull away from it. You could top it, or you could move too far ahead of it and actually hit down too steep on it, and it's just it creates a whole menagerie of problems. But the point is that you define the law of impact, and so the key becomes what causes you to come out over the top. And basically that is what is known as the swing that creates the banana ball, and that is predominantly what the majority of amateur golfers hit. And there's a few good players, tour players, who hit a controlled fade, but there's a difference between a controlled fade and a really big banana ball. So the number one clue you can always pretty much assume, without a doubt, that's causing the banana ball is A, bad alignment. In many cases, that means the player is aiming to the right, which means they might have an alignment, so to speak, like this, where if that's straight, where they could swing the club straight back and straight up and down, and the catcher's mitten straight through, they're aiming somewhere out here to the right. So now their swing, even if they swung straight down and parallel to this swing where their feet would be on it, they'd still be hitting the ball out there. But because now they'd be hitting the ball out there, but the target is back here someplace, they have to turn quicker to get here. And as soon as you turn, look what you see. Even if I don't change my arms and the club to my body, but it's turning my body this way, the club's, as you can see, the club's going that way, and it's set up out and in. So alignment's probably the number one killer. But even in conjunction, that could be equally a problem with the alignment, is just a simple fact that even if you were dead straight, dead parallel left, and anytime I talk about alignment, when I say toes parallel left, I'm always included the knees, the hips, the shoulders, and the eyes. All of these lines have to be consistently straight up and down. So anytime you hear me say toe line, you can just automatically know that it means knees, hips, shoulders, and eyes. We want them all in the same line. Once you turn too much, if you swung from deep, strung straight back out, you'd be going way out straight down, you'd be going out to the right. So you have to come back to the line. And even golfers who've never heard the concept on, square and solid, just hitting a golf ball, their brain starts to figure out that if they're aimed over here, or even if they're square and they make too much turn, if they have to come back to the line, they have to start turning to get the club back to coming towards this line to be able to hit it. It's no different than if I'm standing here skipping a rock on a lake. If I turn my shoulders this much and just let my arms come straight down from there, I'm going to throw the rock way out there. So they know that if they're from back here, they have to come this way to get their arms back on that line to hit the ball, as well as skip the rock towards the camera. But the point is this: bodies in motion stay in motion, direction they'll put in motion. So once you start from back here and start going this way, it's pretty hard to get the exact right point right here and to swing down and up. We can either go too far and really come across and pull it, or come in a little too much and we can still be hitting blocks a little bit out to the right. But in the mid and up the tree, straight back and through is the key there. There's a whole bunch of other issues that can cause all of this, but basically you can pretty much figure alignment, turning too much, swinging too long, going back to parallel or over, because that'll start to tilt your spine, and tilting the spine will get the club deeper again, and then you got to come back out and over the top. But predominantly, and today, what's one of the number one things, myself and all the teachers, Dave Seaman, Greg McDonald, Derek Hardy, Mike Bartholomew and Charlotte, they all say the same thing when they're giving lessons and they're doing golf schools. The number one key issue is alignment, and number two is too long a backswing and turning. And yet most golfers and all the surgites are really working hard on having a less turn. Many of them feel like they're not even moving their knees, but the forward knee is still moving in too much. And so the key that we feel good about is the fact that even though we see them doing too much, and they believe they've really cut it down a lot, just think about where they were before they got into the swing. And so it's just a matter that we just got to take them and get them to do it, control it, and restrict it even more. And just like snapping your finger, they start getting better. But those are big places you can look. Outside in is usually caused from the main culprits of, as I said it before, and I'll say it again: too much turn, bad alignment, too much turn, and too long a backswing, which gets us deep in the sacred burial ground, and we got to come back out to get to the line. Those are the critical three big issues of why we come over the top. Okay, and that's why we have the 3/4 limited turn swing as the peak performance golf swing. In the turn only to the toe line, in the catcher's mitt up the tree, vertical, and then in the forward catcher's mitt and up the tree, and we're swinging and basically keeping our hands and the club. In my mind, I feel like they stay in between these two lines, which I call the aiming alley. You keep your arms, hands, and club in the aiming alley, your ball's going to stay in the aiming alley and hit the ball a lot more consistently, solid, straight, and shoot those lower scores. That's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking to you all soon.